Matthew Bible Summary to Deuteronomy 28. The promises of the blessings unto them that regard the commandments, and the curses to the contrary. The 28th chapter. If thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, the Lord will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come on thee, and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Blessed shalt thou be in the town, and blessed in the fields. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the fruit of thine oxen, and thy flocks of sheep. Blessed shall thine almery be, and thy store. Blessed shalt thou be, both when thou goest out, and blessed when thou comest in. The Lord shall smite thine enemies that rise against thee before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way, and flee before thee 7 ways. The Lord shall command the blessing to be with thee in thy storehouses, and in all that thou settest thine hand to, and will bless thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. The Lord shall make thee an holy people unto himself, as he hath sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy God, and walk in his ways. And all nations of the earth shall see that thou art called after the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid of thee. And the Lord shall make thee plenteous in goods, in the fruit of thy body, in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy ground, in the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers to give thee. The Lord shall open unto thee his good treasure, even the heaven, to give rain unto thy land in due season, and to bless all the labors of thine hand. And thou shalt lend unto many nations, but shalt not need to borrow thyself. And the Lord shall set thee before, and not behind. And thou shalt be above only, and not beneath, if that thou hearken unto the commandments of the Lord thy God, which I command thee this day to keep and to do them. And see that thou bow not from any of these words which I command thee this day, either to the right hand or to the left, that thou wouldest go after strange gods to serve them. But and if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep and to do all his commandments and ordinances, which I command thee this day, then all these curses shall come upon thee, and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the town, and cursed in the field. Cursed shall thine almery be, and thy store. Cursed shall the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land be, and the fruit of thine oxen, and the flocks of thy sheep. And cursed shalt thou be when thou goest in, and when thou goest out. And the Lord shall send upon thee cursing, going to naught, and complaining in all that thou settest thine hand to, whatsoever thou doest, until thou be destroyed and brought to naught quickly, because of the wickedness of thine inventions, in that thou hast forsaken the Lord. And the Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from the land whither thou goest to enjoy it. And the Lord shall smite thee with swelling, with fevers, heat, burning, withering, with smiting and blasting, and they shall follow thee until thou perish. And the heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee iron. And the Lord shall turn the rain of the land unto powder and dust. Even from heaven they shall come down upon thee, until thou be brought to naught. And the Lord shall plague thee before thine enemies. Thou shalt come out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shalt be scattered among all the kingdoms of the earth. And thy carcass shall be meat unto all manner fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. And the Lord will smite thee with the botches of Egypt, and the emeroids, scall, and manganese, that thou shalt not be healed thereof. And the Lord shall smite thee with madness, blindness, and dazing of heart. And thou shalt grope at noondays, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and shalt not come to the right away, and shall not come to thee right away. And thou shalt suffer wrong only, and be pulled evermore, and no man shall succor thee. Thou shalt be betrothed unto a wife, and another shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and another shall dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not make it common. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away, even before thy face, and shall not be restored thee again. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies, and no man shall help thee. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another nation, and thine eyes shall see and gaze upon them all day long, but shalt have no might in thine hand. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat, and thou shalt but suffer violence only, and be oppressed always, that thou shalt be clean beside thyself for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. The Lord shall smite thee with a mischievous botch in the knees and legs, so that thou canst not be healed, even from the sole of the foot unto the top of the head. The Lord shall bring both thee and thy king, which thou hast set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there thou shalt serve strange gods, even wood and stone, and thou shalt go to waste, and be made an ensample, and a jesting stock unto all nations, whither the Lord shall carry thee. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shalt gather but little in, for the grasshoppers shall destroy it. Thou shalt plant a vineyard and dress it, but shalt neither drink of the wine, neither gather of the grapes, for the worms shall eat it. Thou shalt have olive trees in all thy coasts, but shalt not be anointed with the oil, for thine olive trees shall be rooted out. Thou shalt get sons and daughters, but shalt not have them, for they shall be carried away captive. All thy trees and fruit of thy land shall be marred with blasting. The strangers that are among you shall climb above thee up on high, and thou shalt come down beneath alow. He shall lend thee, and thou shalt not lend him. He shall be before, and thou behind. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall follow thee and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenedst not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and ordinances, which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee as miracles and wonders, and upon thy seed forever. And because thou servedst not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with a good heart, for the abundance of all things, therefore thou shalt serve thine enemy, which the Lord shall send upon thee, in hunger and thirst, in nakedness and in need of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have brought thee to naught. And the Lord shall bring a nation upon thee from afar, even from the end of the world, as swift as an eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a hard-favored nation which shall not regard the person of the old, nor have compassion on the young. And he shall eat the fruit of thy land, and the fruit of thy cattle, until he have destroyed thee, so that he shall leave thee neither corn, wine, nor oil, neither the increase of thine oxen, nor the flocks of thy sheep, until he have brought thee to naught. And he shall keep thee in all thy cities, until thy high and strong walls be come down, wherein thou trustedest, through all the land. And he shall besiege thee in all thy cities, throughout all thy land, which the Lord thy God hath given thee. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord thy God hath given thee, in that straitness and siege wherewith thine enemy shall besiege thee, so that it shall grieve the man that is tender and exceeding delicate among you, to look on his brother and upon his wife that lieth in his bosom, and on the remnant of his children which he hath yet left, for fear of giving unto any of them of the flesh of his children, which he eateth, because he hath not left him in the straitness and siege wherewith thine enemies shall besiege thee in all thy cities. Yea, and the woman that is so tender and delicate among you, that she dare not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for softness and tenderness, shall be grieved to look on the husband that lieth in her bosom, and on her son, and on her daughter, even because of the afterbirth that is come out from between her legs, and because of her children which she hath borne, because she would eat them for need of all things secretly, in the straitness and siege wherewith thine enemy shall besiege thee in thy cities. If thou wilt not be diligent to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, for to fear this glorious and fearful name of the Lord thy God, the Lord will smite both thee and thy seed with wonderful plagues, and with great plagues, and of long continuance, and with evil sicknesses, and of long durance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Thereto all manner sicknesses and all manner plagues, which are not written in the book of this law, will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be come to naught. And ye shall be left few in number, where before ye were as the stars of heaven in multitude, because thou wouldest not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. And as the Lord rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, even so he will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught. And ye shall be wasted from of the land whither thou goest to enjoy it. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all nations, from the one end of the world unto the other, and there thou shalt serve strange gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And among these nations thou shalt be no small season, and yet shalt have no rest to the sole of thy foot. For the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and dazing eyes, and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang before thee, and thou shalt fear both day and night, and shalt have no trust in thy life. In the morning thou shalt say, Would God it were night! And at night thou shalt say, Would God it were morning! For fear of thine heart, which thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way which I bade thee that thou shouldest see it no more. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies, for bondmen and bondwoman, and yet no man shall buy you.